kidding.
This is a family podcast.
It's really not. It's
totally isn't.
It's so not.
All right.
This is actually kind of cool though, with like the shiny like this. It's good. And it's like we've been in Vegas, like in a hotel partying, and we decided to do our podcast.
It's giving me old like Fiona Apple vibes.
Yeah. Oh,
that's what it's giving me.
Yes, I got my wine.
All right.
Okay.
Why is it in a plastic cup? We just can't be classy.
This is how we do it in Vegas. Because I stole this from.
Can we just do the intro?
Okay. All right. Let's go. I'm ready.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Okay, serious.
Okay,
ready? Okay, here we go. Hold on. Go. Ready? Okay, here we go.
Why is this microphone so big? God damn. Okay, let's just do it. Whatever.
Okay, ready? Okay, hold on. All right. 1, 2, 3. Hey everybody, it's Sharon and Tamora from Not Absolutely Not.
And we are together in Vegas!
Las Vegas! Okay.
We thought this will be the perfect place and the perfect time to kind of do a intro or premiere of our first series of Friday Night Fights.
Boom, 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 boom. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, word's too much. I did too much.
It's not. Don't.
No?
God damn it.
That was fun.
Okay, yeah. So
okay.
Friday Night Fights. It is where we take an older version of a movie and a remake of that movie and vote separately on which part of the movie, which movie we like the best, I guess, is actually how we would say it. So we have a set of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6 criteria. Not 7, 6 criteria that we base our votes on. And so we'll go back and forth and discuss why we voted for what, which one got the top vote, and then we'll tally it at the end. And based on our votes, we get to tell you guys which version of the movie is the best. Sharon?
Agreed. Yep, that's exactly what we're going to do. I think it's going to be fun. And I think might be surprising how we vote in this round. Boom, boom, boom. Ding, ding, ding. Okay.
Now, we have our, I call it our Fiona Apple criminal kind of vibe going on here. A little horror movie, hotel vibe going on.
Because we're in Las Vegas.
So we decided to do something a little bit special for our premiere. But the movies that we're going to compare are The Fly. What?
Yes.
So there's a 1958 version of The Fly and there's a 1986 version of The Fly. And we've watched them both again just to kind of take some notes. Based on the criteria, and the categories are: which movie builds the most suspense? Which one has created well-developed characters? How long does it take for the monster to appear in the movie? Which movie has the best dialogue? Which one has the greatest antagonist? And which one has creepy sound design or best sound effects?
We have not seen each other's, just to remind you, we have not seen each other's answers yet.
Yes.
As much as I wanted to look to see what she thought. I didn't.
Actually, she tried to cheat.
I did a little bit. But
she's like, I didn't see your votes. And I was like, that's why I didn't put them in yet.
It's more because I don't really know how Google Sheets works. But it's okay. I think it's going to be kind of cool to see where we both land, because I definitely had some opinions.
Okay.
All right.
Well, that being said, semi-spoiler alerts. We won't take too long on each of our categories, but you might hear some things that might ruin a movie for you. For real, if you haven't seen The Fly from 1986, You have bigger issues than this. If you've not seen The Fly
Yeah.
from 1958, which I hadn't seen before, don't worry about it. I got you.
Oh,
Got it.
is that like a preview?
I got you. I didn't get it either. And then I saw it and I was like, oh, okay.
Okay. All right. So,
All right.
All right. Should we get started?
Yes.
All right. Let's go.
So
Okay.
let's start with build suspense.
Okay.
Which movie did the best? Do you want to go first?
Okay. I thought that in build suspense that
Don't look at my answers.
you have mine too on there.
Cheater.
I know, but I just want to. Fine, I'll get my notes on my radio phone.
The shade. Why?
If y'all only knew how long it took us to actually get started to record this. Anyway,
we had some challenges that were not technical, which is the sad part.
more like operational.
User error.
Why are you pointing to me?
I pointed to both of us. You just saw that I lingered on you the longest.
Okay. All right. I voted for the 1958 version, building the most suspense.
First of all, I'm not going to tell you what I voted for, but this is what I wrote in my notes. The 1958 version just starts with a murder.
Right.
Craziness. But 1986, it kind of does well in kind of letting you know that something's wrong. Like with the guy, like after he goes through the machine, the transporter machine, and the hair's on his back. So it kind of builds suspense in that you're like, what is this about? Because you don't hear the full story ahead of time.
Right. But the 1958 version, it starts off, which I think was very groundbreaking for the time to start off like with like the kind of not the finale, but like the big thing that happens. And then goes back in time in the like definitely 1958 style.
First of all, your sound effect for night vision and going back in time.
Actually, I went like this. I was fast forward. It should have been like,
but the sound.
It's the sound. But it goes back in time. And I checked the timing on this. I think you're like about an hour and 30 minutes. No, that's the movie's that long. You're probably about 50 minutes into the film before you even realize that dude's about to be the Fly, even though you know because it's 1958. But I took it for what it...
And the movie's called The Fly.
So without all of that information, I was watching it like, oh, wow, I've never seen anything like this before. And that's why, but I thought that it built the most suspense because it didn't really give anything away. It was actually like building it backwards, which I thought was actually pretty cool and probably groundbreaking for 1958.
Next category. Which one? What? No, it wasn't good. I was moving this along.
Okay.
Next one. Which one had
what's going on there? Okay,
I would love if you would focus.
Okay.
Which one created well-developed characters? Sharon?
What did I write? I thought they were both equally well. I don't know. I thought they were both kind of the same. I didn't think that one was better than the other. I ranked both of them.
I said there's pretty good character development in the 1958 one because they had roles, what their background were. They talked more about their like, hi, I'm the physicist for I'm the brother and I know this about this. Hi, I'm the detective and I'm doing that. And I was like, cool, I know what you're going through. And then for 1986, I said they did well at defining the character for the role, though I can't buy hot ass Jeff Goldblum as a scientist. He was hot.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Jeff Goldblum's. He was hot then. He's still hot now. He's just hot, in my opinion. I'm just saying. Anywho,
I gave them both a point.
But I did really like the fact that Jeff Goldblum is like, you might not have bought him as a scientist, but I actually really bought him as he was like totally like affected and like when he's like kind of building up and he's like sitting at the table and he's like, and then I was like, you know, because I'm like the smartest guy in the room and the
nerd act was good.
Like it was good. Like
the scientist part, I was just like, maybe he's too hot to be a scientist. All right, next.
Okay, all right.
I have standards of what I want my scientists to look like.
Oh,
And
that's what
I
it
want
boils
them
down
to look like people I would never want to sleep with. Next category.
I have
Which one
questions.
doesn't show the monster right away? Sharon voted for both flies.
Did I?
You did.
Oh, maybe. I for sure didn't. The 1958 one took forever to finally show them.
Took an hour and 3 minutes to see the one in 1986 out of an hour and 35-minute movie, and 13 minutes in to see the full fly in the 1968 one, I think, out of 133. 1 hour
Well, no,
33
you
minutes.
see a little fly, which isn't the fly, but it's like the little fly.
I thought the white-headed one was the fly.
He
Or
was
you want
the-
the monster version.
But the monster version, which
Oh, I meant an hour and 13 minutes. I'm sorry,
right,
not 13 minutes.
yeah, it took a minute. Like I remember somebody being like, "Dang, are they ever going to show like what happens to him? Like where the fly thing comes in? Like they didn't show any of that in forever." And I kept watching it, going like, "Wow, that's a really long time."
But when that handkerchief tablecloth came off his head in 1958, I was just like, oh, shit!
And then like the best part about it is like in the movie, he's like,
Because he's got one fly hand, and he's like, oh, I'm trying to stop my fly hand. It's out of control.
that was like the
I
best.
liked it.
I enjoyed it. I was like laughing. I got a total chuckle out of it. And maybe that's kind of goes against the whole horror theme, really, because it wasn't scary, but it was
For
funny.
1958, it was probably scary, but this age, you'd be like, okay, that's a little funny.
I mean, I don't know. I felt like in 1958 there might have been something scarier, but that was still pretty funny. I enjoyed it.
Next category, best dialogue. Sharon said nobody had the best dialogue.
That dialogue was corny as hell. But I have a theory. Both films, well, I'm sorry, the 1986 version tried to emulate the speak of the 1958 version. And I'll tell you how I figured that out. Because I initially fell asleep watching the 1986 version, and I was just so I was kind of like hearing it in my sleep, and it was like, like Gina Davis.
Oh, she does.
And he's like, Jeff Goldblum had that, like they both had affectation. And I remember kind of like felt like waking up to it, and then was like, oh wait, I fell asleep. Let me rewind it. And then I was like, God, that sounded just like the 1958 version, but like the modern version. So it was like they really were trying to. And I don't know if you. Well, actually, I'm sorry. Go ahead. There's this. I don't want to jump too far.
I said there was formality around everything in 1958. That wasn't my jam. Like, even when she says she's murdered her husband, she's just in bed the next day, like, oh, it's so good to feel so rested. And I was just like, is this real?
Praise Jesus. That one was like, she took a nap after killing her husband. Like,
I'm sorry. Her maid came to serve her breakfast and wake her up while she was in her house dress, feeling refreshed. And I was like, did you not just murder your fly husband the other day? Okay.
I'm sorry. She woke up and said, is it a sunny day? Oh, yes, ma'am.
It is when you're not in jail for murdering someone. How are you waking up in bed after you're like, I've murdered him? Okay, whatever.
It was absurd. Like, I gotta feel like I should probably like. My mom was very little when this came out, but I have to go. I would love to go back and ask somebody like, how'd you really think about this? Because this shit was corny as hell.
I said for 1986, the dialogue was good at building this frenzy of who Jeff Goldblum was becoming, or Seth was becoming in The Fly. So it kind of, the energy and the suspense was built with the dialogue. So I gave that one my vote.
Okay. Yeah.
It's my vote. I can do what I want.
No. Okay, go ahead. That's fine.
Who has a better antagonist? Sharon.
What did I say?
You said everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a good antagonist.
I liked him. I really did. And the reason why is because I liked Andre. First of all, I thought it was super cute that he was so...
Which one?
Isn't Andre the...
1958.
In 1958.
Yeah.
Andre in 1958. He's so in love with his wife. And they were like really...
They are adorable.
They're like really sweet. And
But wait, no, Vincent Price is the brother. If you don't know who Vincent Price is, like,
yeah,
Google that shit.
yeah.
But I was
he's
just
like the godfather of horror. Like, if Bela Lugosi is the father of horror, then Vincent Price is the godfather of horror for sure.
and if you still don't know who he is and you black, listen to the voice at the beginning of the Thriller.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
But he was phenomenal.
Yes. But I liked that Andre is, and he's kind of, I don't know, he was like handsome.
He was very handsome.
Very handsome. And then he was super into his wife. And you kind of got the impression that they were like doing it or something, because they had like this little like flirtation, even though it was 1958. And I thought, God, that seems a little bit.
Oh, you mean outside of the film?
Yeah. Well, no, like they just had an energy, like the way they were, you know.
They seemed like they were newlyweds.
It was very cute.
And they had a grown, weird looking kid. I call him the Republican. But they had that kid.
He probably grew up to be like working like the Nixon. No, they were too young for that. Was it Ford? I'm not going to talk about the
political affiliation.
Yeah, okay.
However, yeah, they did have that energy, like, we are so in love and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, that's cute.
But then he, like, when he goes into like his whole thing, like, he's so, becomes like a bit of a mad scientist. Like, I don't know, I really.
He didn't become a mad scientist. He was just crazy because he had a fly head and a fly hand.
Right, but he became obsessed with doing the experiments, and he was like locked in his laboratory.
Oh, I thought that was because he turned his head into
the
fly.
Initially, before he turned into the fly, like he was like working on it. Then he did the experiment. Then he got turned into the fly, and then he was, for sure locked in the basement. But I like that. But I also like Jeff Goldblum's character because it does take so long to kind of build up to who he's going to become, and he's very hot and cold. And so before he even does the experiment, he seems a little edgy, right? Like when he like tells Sheena Davis, like, that's my work. Like, you can't like put my work on blast like that. You know what I mean? Like, he's good. Like, I don't know. I dug him. I thought they were both intriguing.
I said Helene is fabulous, or is what my note says. From the outfit to looking for that fly to make her husband less fly-like, she was the it. That was my girl. And then I liked the 1986 because you go with Seth on this whole roller coaster ride of emotion with him and Veronica. And it's just this whole thing of him getting too frenzied, then falling apart, and them. Well, I thought their relationship was weird. It was like, I love him. And I'm like, don't have that fly baby girl. That's crazy.
I don't know. It seemed like she was just, that didn't seem well developed.
I loved it.
Oh.
Kind of like what I like. Which one had the best sound effects? You said 1986.
Well, yes, but I'll tell you why. Because if you listen to the music, it sounds a lot like the 1958.
No.
Yes, it does.
Invalid.
That is not true. If you listen to the music in like the background, like the ambient music.
Slightly. However, you cannot beat the orchestra sound effects in the 1958. Like full vocalization, full symphonic sound. And then it went from these notes of like when he's holding his son and they're talking in the little living room and there's like we're that family, and then he's the fly and it's like and it builds this crescendo up. Better music.
I loved that, but I also loved how the 1986 version duplicated that.
I'm just gonna delete your vote.
No, and I think it duplicated it like pretty accurately in like kind of key. Yes, it did in key scenes. You know how I know? Because I fell asleep listening to it, thinking I was listening to the other stuff, and then I woke up and I was like, "Oh shoot, that's I'm telling you."
And I just want to say that we can't base all your votes on your dreams. So
why? I saw my kids in my dreams. I saw my husband in my dream.
Did you see the fly music in your dream?
No, but I heard it.
Invalid. So
no,
I'll take your vote.
It's my opinion.
I know.
You can't change that, and it's not invalid.
I don't like the way you're mocking me incorrectly. However, I will let you know that you do get to retain your vote.
Thank
this
you.
time. All right.
Is it too late to flip her off?
No, it's never too late.
Bam!
Bam, bam.
Bam, bam, bam! Bam!
All right.
Okay.
That being said, the votes are in.
Okay.
And the winner for The Fly between 1958 and 1986 is 1986.
Ding, ding, ding,
by
ding, ding,
one
ding, ding.
measly point, probably based on Sharon's dream of a symphony music sound. Sorry, 1958.
I think you need to go back and really listen to it with your headphones on.
I don't want to do that.
And neither do I.
Never gonna do that.
It was. I thought it was cool.
I'm gonna just not respond. All right, so that's the end of this podcast. Sharon, would you like to take us out?
How does the Fiona Apple
Oh
Kernel song go?
wait! Do you know what I did? Oh, I don't know. We have the rights to sing it. Two things. I did take off points because in 1958, Dandelo the cat was lost in the experiment.
Yes.
And I took off a point for 1986 when Jeff Goldblum gets super fly strong and he's like doing his shoulder presses in the armchair, and it was definitely a stunt double, and that was not his booty in that scene, and I didn't like that either.
Oh, the booty scene. That's right.
That wasn't his booty.
That was a pretty. I remember when that happened.
Booty double.
When was that? It's 86. So I was in high school when that came out, and I remember being like,
I don't remember that scene.
There's a booty.
I don't remember that scene.
And it was a nice booty.
It was a nice booty, but it was not Jeff's.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jeff. If we saw your real booty, you might get 2 more points from me.
Just saying.
But you still won, so yay!
Yay.
All right, sorry.
Okay,
take us out.
This will be a regular series for
Not
us.
our slumber party, which is our theme here. This won't be a regular. We won't always be in Vegas. We're just here doing other things right now. And we decided, since we're together in person, it'd be nice to do this podcast.
We did think it would be nice to do this podcast, but these Friday night fights will be a regular occurrence. We're actually really excited about them because we will be doing comparisons on some films that most of you have seen before. And hopefully it's fun and you enjoy them and you go out and watch them and check them out. I do want to say one fun thing. People who've listened to the previous episodes of the podcast have come back and said, oh, now I need to go watch that movie.
Yeah.
So that's been really awesome. I've loved to hear that. So thank you all very much. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I know she hates it when I say that.
I hate that I always forget to say that. Hey, you guys, do you also know that we have a website?
Ooh, we do have
you
a
also
website.
forget that. And it's not absolutelynot.com. Easy breezy.
Easy breezy. So check us out and we will see you on the next episode.
Yay.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye. Ha!